What if I told you that self trust was a skill that you were never taught? Most of us weren't raised to trust ourselves. We were raised to survive and read the room and scan for danger, even if nobody was out to get us. So, if peace makes you anxious, this one's just for you. Let's get right into it. So, here's the thing. Self trust is the root of everything. You will follow your gut or you'll second guess it. It's what keeps you from chasing validation, from needing someone else to tell you what to do. Most people never build it, they just build habit around fear, people pleasing, and survival. And that's why we stay stuck. Because you can't grow if you don't trust your own direction. So if peace makes you anxious, listen and listen close. Because I'm about to tell you the truth behind that constant bracing for impact. Nobody tells you this part. We were raised to trust everybody but ourselves. Basically, they taught us how to be people pleasers and to play it safe instead of standing on what you believed in. As kids, we got called too sensitive or too emotional. So we learned quick, tone it down, keep it polite, and keep everybody else happy. And that's where you lost it. That little voice that used to tell you what felt right, now you're second guessing everything. You scroll for advice, hoping somebody online will confirm what your gut has been saying all along. You keep telling yourself that you just need clarity, and it's not your fault because the world praises being polite and they don't really praise honesty. They tell you to give people second chances even when they already showed you who they were. And they say biting your tongue makes you wise. No, it just makes you easier to control. And the truth is, half the time it came from pain. You trusted people who made you question your reality. You made choices that backfired and you thought to yourself, never again. So now you overthink everything because you're scared of messing up twice. I was 28 years old before I realized that I didn't trust myself. And it wasn't because I was insecure, it was because I was trained not to. So you learn to scan the room for danger and to always be ready for something bad to happen, even when nobody's hurting you. I used to confuse survival with strength. If I could go through pain, I thought that meant I was built for anything. But all it did was numb me into being disconnected. But that's what survival does. It teaches you to outthink the pain instead of outgrow it. Survival mode, it rewires you. You stop asking, what do I want? And start asking, what's the safest choice? You quit listening to yourself and you start letting everybody else decide for you. And you call it being careful or smart. But really, you're just still surviving something that already ended. See, the thing about survival mode, it doesn't turn off just because you're safe now. Your mind doesn't know that the war is over. It's still in the trenches, still scanning and still staying ready. So peace feels like a trap, like you're missing out on something. So you create chaos just to feel normal. That used to be me. When things were going well, I started looking for problems. When someone was being nice to me, I would wait for the agenda. When I was happy, I would prepare for the worst thing to happen, thinking good things didn't last. I was thinking that the calm was just a setup, that if I relax, I'll miss the warning signs. And here's the thing that breaks my heart about this. You're not protecting yourself anymore. You're punishing yourself. You're punishing yourself for old wounds. So every relationship you sabotage, every opportunity you talk yourself out of it, every decision you second guess, and you think that you're being careful, but really you're just living like the threat is still there. There's a difference between survival and self-trust, because survival tells you not to get comfortable because something bad is about to happen. And self-trust tells you whatever comes, you'll handle it. So one just keeps you in constant panic and the other one lets you live. And most of us, we've been in survival mode. We've been in survival mode so long that we don't even know what self-trust even feels like. I'll give you an example. So you need to make a decision, and it's nothing major. You're trying to decide on whether you should take a new job or you should stay where you are. So if you're in survival mode, you'll ask everyone. You'll ask your mom, your friends, people on the internet. You even go through making a pros and cons list. Then you research for weeks. And it's not because you don't know what you want. It's because you don't trust yourself to make the right move. But here's the thing. You already know deep down what you already decided. You're just hoping someone will validate it for you or talk you out of it just so that the responsibility is off of you. But if someone else tells you what to do and it goes wrong, it's their fault. But if you trust yourself and it goes wrong, that's on you. And that's scary when you've been taught that your judgment can't be trusted. So the way to go from survival mode to self-trust is to retrain your mind. Sit in silence without distractions. Let your decisions breathe overnight before asking anyone. Keep small promises to yourself. I started with saying, I'm going to stay consistent in whatever it is that I decide to do, whether it's big or whether it's small. I'm going to remain consistent. And that's what I do because my brain needed evidence that I follow through. And I also started journaling. I would write, what am I actually afraid of? Like right now. And usually the answer was something that already happened. It happened long ago. And I have a journal link below if you guys are interested. That helped me separate past from the present. And this may help you also. Because until you see the difference, you'll keep reacting to old memories like they're still current threats. But here's something uncomfortable that I had to accept. If my identity is the person that survived the hard things, I'll subconsciously keep creating hard things to survive. Because if I'm not surviving, who am I? That's the question. So do me a favor. So look at your track record. Every situation you thought would break you, you're still here. Every mistake that you thought was the end, you recovered. And every time you didn't know what to do, you figured it out. So you got 100% success rate of surviving your worst days. That's not by luck. That's proof. And take a look at your relationships. Who you tolerate shows how much you trust yourself. If you're staying where you're disrespected, it's because you don't trust that you'll be okay alone. If you're ignoring red flags, it's because you don't trust what you're seeing. And if you're giving endless chances, it's because you don't trust your own boundaries. Building self-trust, it will cost you relationships. People who benefited from your self-doubt, they won't like the version of you that trusts themselves. They'll call you different. And that's confirmation that you're healing. Because the people that needed you broken, they'll always be uncomfortable with you whole. But do you know what's scarier than making the wrong choices? It's when you make the right one. Because the right choices, it requires change. Leaving what's familiar and walking into the unknown. And you'd rather stay in dysfunction that you know than trust yourself in peace that you don't. You weren't broken growing up. You just learned to notice danger before it happened. You learned to read people. You learned to hold it together and stay one step ahead of everybody. So survival, it became second nature. And that's what kept you safe back then. But right now, your work isn't to stay ready for the next hit. Your work is to teach your mind that it's finally safe to let your guard down. Real healing isn't about surviving anymore. It's about trusting that you're safe so that you can actually live. And it's okay to make the wrong choices sometimes, as long as you recover. It's okay to rest without feeling guilty. It's okay to choose yourself without waiting for validation. Self-trust isn't a feeling that you wait for. It's built through kept promises and honored boundaries and decisions that you make without checking in. So today, make one decision without asking anyone. And trust one instinct that you've been second guessing. Just try to keep at least one promise to yourself. Do me a favor. Drop it in the comments. What are you finally trusting yourself on? And if you need help setting boundaries without feeling guilty, watch my next video and subscribe for more real talk. You already know what you need to do. Trust yourself enough to get it done. Until then, I'll see you next time.